Call of Duty games get a lot of hate, and I mean a lot of hate. And it comes from many different directions, from jaded fans to people who really just don't like that kind of game. People make it known that they don't like Call of Duty. But I don't think I've ever seen it on the same level as I have with Infinite Warfare. The official reveal trailer is the second most disliked video of all time. The only video more disliked on YouTube is Justin Bieber's Baby. But why? Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today gameranx asks the question, why is Call of Duty Infinite Warfare getting so much hate? So people definitely do hate Justin Bieber's song Baby more than Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, but here's a few things that people dislike less, or you could say, like more. The song Friday by Rebecca Black. The song Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus. The song Gangnam Style by Psy. Several other songs by Rebecca Black, Miley Cyrus, and also by Nicki Minaj are present in the list as well. And also, here's a shocker, the new Ghostbusters trailer. I've seen a lot of people make the observation that a disproportionate amount of all of the most hated videos on YouTube prominently feature women. Certainly the internet is aflutter with that type of talk. But I don't think we have to worry about that with Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. If Infinite Warfare's development team has a lot of women on it, you would never know, and it definitely doesn't seem to be made for or marketed to women, or at least in any kind of specific way. There are most certainly many women out there who like Call of Duty. The Call of Duty Infinite Warfare trailer is unique in that that argument cannot even kind of be brought up to talk about why people hate it. There is no contention whatsoever that some kind of inherent societal bias of any type could influence you to hate Call of Duty, because there isn't an inherent anti-anything about it. And you could say that there are people that are anti-war or anti-military, but even those people don't make the argument that there's some kind of inherent bias that causes anyone to be pro or anti-military. And another big argument against that is how undeniably mainstream Call of Duty has become. Most people in the United States of America have at least heard of Call of Duty. And what we can say about the level of ubiquity that Call of Duty has achieved is that it's a success. Meaning over the years, enough people have not only not hated it, but liked it to make it into something very, very big. Has Infinite Warfare caused people to turn on Call of Duty? Or is it something maybe just a little bit more inevitable? Well, for one, Activision has seen a great deal of success with their more technology-oriented Call of Duty games. Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, etc. But when you do something that changes the series that much, you kind of fork the fan base, so to speak. You have people that will say, "Oh, Call of Duty is much better when it's boots to the ground," and I can't even tell you how many times I have read that phrase in regards to Infinite Warfare. And you have people that will say, well, to be completely honest, I really enjoy being partially mechanized. But what we're seeing at this point now in 2016 is essentially exclusive catering to the second fork. Then you also have the Battlefield fans stoking the fires at every single place they can all over the internet, reveling and arguing and just generally making it so that everybody has to hear at some point what Battlefield fans think about Infinite Warfare. This is now 3 technological warfare-oriented Call of Duty games in a row. 3 years of those games and no other games. For somebody who has been hoping for a new, more realistic, or at least as realistic as Call of Duty gets, Call of Duty game is likely disappointed. At this point, those types of people are probably wondering if this is what Call of Duty is from now on. And for people who liked a little bit more grounded approach to the idea of the games, that might bother them a little. I personally rather enjoyed Black Ops 3 and did a before you buy on it. Although, as I say on Twitter fairly often, which by the way you can follow me there at Falcon the Hero, I'm much more of an arcade shooter type person than I am a tactical shooter type person. And these technological warfare games tend to be more oriented towards the arcade than the tactical. And I wonder if more people on a subconscious level look at the newer technology-oriented Call of Duty games and say, well, I hate that technology shit, but really mean, subconsciously speaking, I really hate arcade FPSs. And I'm not speaking for those people because, frankly, they very well could not be thinking that way. But it's just something to consider. Another reason is that Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, which is basically the quintessential boots-on-the-ground Call of Duty game, got a remaster and it looks pretty good. However, you can't buy that separate from Infinite Warfare. You have to buy it with Infinite Warfare. It's part of the Infinite Warfare package. You get that remake when you buy Infinite Warfare. That pisses a lot of people off. Many people believe that this is a way to get people that don't want Infinite Warfare to buy it, thusly inflating the numbers, justifying any future technological warfare-oriented Call of Duty games. Hey, Infinite Warfare sold good. Why shouldn't we put out another one of these games? It could even be that they need to reinforce the idea to themselves that it was a good idea to put out another one of these games. It certainly doesn't feel good to have an idea that you tried out eventually backfire on you, and many believe that including a remastered Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare kind of functions as a little bit of manipulation, thusly ensuring they don't have a title that they can call a failure, not only for themselves but also for those that are invested in the company. Investors hate failure. The only thing investors like is growth, and that means new products doing better than old products. And though many people think that that's not entirely sustainable and probably is going to change a lot in the next few years, that's how they think. In its own way, making people purchase Infinite Warfare to get a remaster of a game that they want to play significantly more than Infinite Warfare is kind of padding the books. And the last thing you want to do, especially with a very loyal fan base that continually buys your product year after year, is appear dishonest or manipulative. Now, the easiest way to not appear dishonest or manipulative is to be honest and not manipulate people, but that's not typically how these things work. You know, companies. Many people out there have become very distrusting of the companies that produce the things that they like, and for good reason. It seems like year after year, what people want is continually ignored for what sells, and the justification is that it sells because it's what people want. But ultimately, what they're really saying is we've outgrown this very specific fan base, but they want to keep the brand because it's why they've experienced growth. Call of Duty itself doesn't really mean something. It means it'll be a first-person shooter, but who knows what the hell kind. There are now a lot of sub-brands within the Call of Duty brand that almost seem like they should probably be separate things. And it's created kind of a mess. And I think that that mess is actually why people are mad. That mess is sort of a combination of all of the problems we've talked about throughout the course of this video. It's just that stuff has gotten so messy and they have to resort to tactics, remastering products that harken back to when it wasn't a mess, and forcing you to take part in the mess in order to get them. And this isn't the only time they've experienced this mess. Many other games that they play have resorted to similar tactics and done these random sub-branding things and confused everyone and made things into things that they aren't or weren't and probably don't need to be. In fact, strictly limiting this phenomenon to just gaming would be small-minded. This is happening with everything. In this constant quest for infinite growth and making more and more money, companies are continually proving that they view us as resources and not people. And I don't really give a shit what you're talking about. That pisses people off. And it's not that people even have to fully understand what's going on, they can sense this. People can tell when they're being mined. You know, like in a mine with mine carts, pickaxes, those hats with flashlights on them. Does Call of Duty Infinite Warfare really look that bad? No, it really doesn't. It doesn't really look like anything particularly special if you've already played any of the Call of Duty games that are oriented towards technological warfare, but it doesn't look like a travesty. People are not pissed off because the game looks shitty. People are pissed off because they're continually ignored when they express what they want and when they express what they need. It's not just video games, but video game companies seem to have a reputation for being open or cool or something. So maybe people feel like if they make a loud enough stink, they'll actually be listened to in this particular facet of their life. I would argue that they probably won't be because it's not really about that. It's about making money. And once again, that's why everyone's pissed. I am positive you have an opinion on this subject. Let's have some Infinite Warfare down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button, and if you're not subscribed, now would be a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every single day of the week, and the best way to see them first is of course a subscription. As always, we thank you so much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter @FalconTheHero, and we'll see you next time right here on gameranx.